Namaste and welcome back to the deep dive. You know the drill here. You send us interesting sources and we try our best to unpack them, get right to the heart of the matter.
Exactly. And today, we've got something quite fascinating you sent over. It's a cover story from Presence magazine, the May 2025 edition.
Presense, that's India's oldest digital-only e-magazine, isn't it? Quite a legacy there.
It is indeed. And the story is titled, From Silver Screen to Sansad, The Remarkable Journey of Ravi Kishan MP. It's authored by Prime Point Srinivasan and Priyadharshni Rahul.
Ravi Kishan. Now, that's a name most people, certainly across India, will know instantly from the movies. I mean, the article says 750 films to his name. That's quite something.
It's an incredible number. But as that title suggests, this deep dive isn't just about his film career. It's about his work now as a member of parliament.
And not just any work. He's been recognized with the Sansad Ratna Award for 2025. That's a big deal, right? Especially for someone coming from the world of cinema.
Absolutely. It's significant. It recognizes outstanding parliamentary performance and, well, it's quite unusual, maybe even a first, for a mainstream popular actor to receive this particular honor. It really highlights a successful transition.
It really does. And Presence documenting this, you mentioned its legacy. Didn't it have a rather interesting start itself? Connected to Dr. Kalam?
That's right. It was established back in 2006 by Prime Point Srinivasan. And the story goes that the idea, the encouragement, came directly from Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam himself. He apparently suggested a platform focused on positive journalism.
Wonderful. So we have this positive journalism platform looking at Ravi Kishan's journey. It really is about bridging two very different worlds, isn't it? Bollywood glamour and the often gritty reality of Indian politics.
Precisely. How does one navigate that? And more importantly, how does one make a real impact in that political sphere after such a high-profile acting career? That's what we want to dig into, especially with this Sansad Ratna Award in the picture.
Okay, let's start where the article starts his beginnings. It wasn't a glamorous start, was it?
Not at all. Born Ravindra Kishan Shukla in a small village, Jaunpur in Uttar Pradesh. Very humble origins.
And like many, drawn to the screen by the big stars.
Yes, the article mentions Amitabh Bachchan as a key inspiration. His childhood dream was fueled by watching Bachchan on screen. It makes you wonder how that early exposure shaped his later path.
And the determination. Moving to Mumbai at 17, with barely any money.
Just 500, the article says. And his mother's blessings. That's it. No connections, nothing. You have to admire that kind of resolve for real.
Definitely. It shows a certain grit. And for him, cinema wasn't just about fame.
No. The article frames it more as, well, survival initially. A way to build an identity, find his voice. Those early struggles must have been incredibly formative.
Okay, so fast forward. 750 films later, an astonishing career. What made him shift gears towards Parliament? What was the catalyst?
It seems it wasn't one single event, but more a growing feeling. After such a long time in cinema, the article suggests he felt a pull, a sort of inner calling to serve people in a different way.
Did he see a specific need?
Apparently, yes. He observed a disconnect, between the system and the struggles of ordinary people, especially in rural India. Perhaps his own village background gave him that sensitivity.
And politics provided a way to address that. Was there a particular influence?
The article highlights the leadership of Narendra Modi as a major source of inspiration for him. He saw Modi's vision as something transformative for the country and wanted to be a part of that, not just watch from the sidelines.
So a desire to contribute to that vision.
Exactly. He wanted to be part of India's growth story actively. And the article mentions he entered politics formally with the blessings and support of both Modi ji and Yogi ji. So it was a committed move, not just dipping his toes in.
Now, talking about Ravi Kishan, you inevitably have to talk about Bhojpuri cinema. He's almost synonymous with it.
Absolutely. The article really emphasizes this connection. For him, it's clearly more than just a film industry. It's described almost as an emotion, the voice of millions. He feels a deep loyalty there.
And Bhojpuri cinema, it's fair to say, hasn't always had the same limelight as, say, Bollywood has it.
True. It often lacked that mainstream glamour or perhaps respect. But Ravi Kishan, according to this piece, really made it his mission to change that, to fight for its recognition and wider reach.
Even while working in Bollywood and South Indian films.
Yes, he worked across industries, but his heart, his core commitment, seemed to remain with regional, specifically Bhojpuri cinema. It felt like honoring his roots, giving a platform to those voices.
You can sense that pride when it gets recognition, right? Like discussions in Parliament about it or getting onto OTT platforms.
Definitely. For him, it's validation not just professionally, but culturally. It's about giving voice to the voiceless, as the article puts it.
Which brings us back to the Sansad Ratna Award 2025. This must have felt like a different kind of validation altogether.
Immense significance, yes, especially coming from outside a traditional political family. The article describes him being quite emotional when he found out.
And he drew a distinction between this and his film awards.
He did, quite clearly. He's quoted saying this award was for real work, for making a real impact. That's a very deliberate choice of words, isn't it? It suggests where his focus lies now.
A shift in what defines success for him, perhaps.
It certainly seems that way. He mentioned it gave him tremendous strength, personally, but also a profound responsibility professionally. He seems very aware of the weight of this recognition.
And committed to living up to it.
Yes, the article stresses his commitment to honoring that responsibility daily in his parliamentary work. It's not just an award to hang on the wall.
So what is that real work? What are the key issues he's been championing that likely led to this award?
The article identifies three main priorities: youth employment, tackling drug addiction, raising awareness there, and pushing for Bhojpuri to be included in the 8th schedule of the Constitution.
Those first two, youth employment and drugs, feel very grounded, stemming from his background.
Very likely. Coming from a village, he would have seen firsthand the impact of joblessness on young people and the destruction caused by drug abuse in communities. These aren't just policy points for him, they seem deeply personal.
And he's actively pursuing these in Parliament.
Apparently so. The article mentions him regularly raising these issues in the Lok Sabha, pushing for practical things like skill development programs, better rural connectivity, digital education access. The focus seems to be on tangible results, not just speeches.
Let's talk about the challenges, though. An actor entering politics, there must have been skepticism, right? People saying he's just an actor.
Oh, absolutely. The article acknowledges those whispers, that initial perception. It's almost unavoidable when someone transitions from such a visible, different field.
So how did he counter that? How did he build credibility as a serious politician?
Through sheer hard work, it seems. The strategy outlined was consistent dedication, high attendance in Parliament, doing his homework, thorough research, and actively raising relevant issues, basically proving himself through action.
What kind of issues did he focus on initially to build that trust?
Things that mattered locally, it appears. Besides the big themes like youth unemployment and drugs, he focused on local infrastructure needs in his constituency, things that directly affect people's lives.
And that worked. The perception changed.
The article suggests it did, over time. His consistent effort, his performance, gradually shifted the narrative from actor dabbling in politics to committed working parliamentarian. That credibility was earned, not given. And the Sansad Ratna Award is probably the strongest proof of that shift.
Beyond the public roles, does the article give any sense of the man behind the actor and the MP? Any hidden depths?
It does offer some glimpses. Interestingly, despite the fame in politics, he talks about having a strong spiritual side. He practices meditation, seeks silence to stay grounded. It paints a picture of someone quite introspective beneath the surface.
And his passion for youth welfare and drug awareness, it sounds like more than just policy.
Yes, it comes across as deeply personal, almost a mission. Witnessing the damage addiction seems to have fueled a real drive for seva, for service in that area. A belief in connecting to something higher drives him.
How does he manage it all? The demands of being Ravi Kishan the star and Ravi Kishan the MP, that must be a tough balancing act.
Extremely tough, you'd imagine. The article says his approach involves discipline and clear priorities. Starting the day with meditation helps him stay centered.
And then focusing completely on the role at hand.
Exactly. When it's parliamentary work, that gets his full attention. And his film choices have apparently become much more selective now, roles that fit around his duties and align with his values.
It sounds like his definition of purpose has really shifted.
That's a strong theme in the article. Fame brought recognition, sure, but public service seems to offer a deeper sense of meaning for him now. The award reinforces that this path has its own profound rewards.
Thinking about young people listening, maybe inspired, but feeling they don't have the right background for politics. What's his advice, based on his journey?
His message is quite clear, and I think quite hopeful. He stresses that you don't need a political family name. What you do need is a genuine belief in a cause, a real desire to help.
And starting small?
Yes, absolutely. Start local. Get involved in your village, your college, your neighborhood. Understand people's real problems by actively helping, not just talking. Be genuine.
And it takes time.
Patience and persistence are key, he advises. Stay informed, stay grounded, keep working sincerely. He suggests the system is changing, and that kind of sincerity does get noticed eventually.
His own story is the proof, isn't it? Village boy, no connections, now an award-winning MP.
Precisely. Driven by intent, discipline, and passion, as the article frames it. It's a powerful example.
So looking forward, what's his vision for, say, the next decade? Does he aim for bigger roles?
The vision described is one of deepening his service. More focus on youth empowerment, rural development, ensuring access to skills training so no child is limited by geography.
And potentially larger responsibilities.
He seems open to it, yes, but framed in terms of making a wider national impact, representing everyday Indians. It suggests a continued commitment to public life, not just a short stint.
And the legacy he wants to leave when people look back.
He hopes to be remembered not just for the movie magic, but as someone who served his people faithfully, with courage, and who genuinely gave back. He also makes a point to express gratitude towards Modi ji and Yogi ji for their guidance and support in enabling him to be an effective Sevak.
Right. So wrapping up this deep dive, it really has been a look at an extraordinary trajectory. From that village in UP to Bollywood superstardom, and now a Sansad Ratna awardee for his work in Parliament.
It's a compelling story, and it underscores that meaningful contributions in politics can come from unexpected backgrounds. His focus on youth, drugs, regional language recognition, these are vital issues, and his commitment seems clear.
It definitely leaves you thinking, doesn't it? What does Ravi Kishan's journey, and others like it perhaps, tell us about the changing face of Indian politics? When people from diverse fields step up, what does that bring? Something for all of us to ponder. Thanks for joining us on the deep dive.